Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Build the Spitfire Mark 1A. Today we're going to be doing issue number 62 today of the Build the Spitfire issue. Now this consists, I've got a lot to go through, but I'll go through this first. This consists of the electrical connector and housing, which is 6201, and if we look over here it's the connector housing with the peg. 6202 is connector housing with hole in it. So obviously one has a peg and one doesn't. 6203 being this part here, which has been the main problem, and I'll go into detail a little bit later on, is the connector with casing. I've just seen a comment. I will review that just after I finish this. 6204 is your connector, which is this part down here. And then 6205 is the 3PM screws times 6mm screws, one spare. Basically what we're going to be doing here is I'm just going to move it over slightly, maybe that way. Yeah. So basically we're going to be feeding up this housing. This is ridiculous. I'm just going to remove me so that you can get some. That's a little bit better in it. So basically we're going to have a socket which we're going to feed the electrical component up. This is going to house it into this section here. We're then going to put a top section on, which you can just see about there. And then obviously we'll have a section like that. This then gets secured into the rear of the plane, into this framing work that we did in the previous issue. And then as you can see here, we've got a little bit of haulage, if you like. Haulage, if I just invented a new word. Which we connect these down to, and then in the back here we put a PM screw either side of this, so one here and one adjacent to that. Then obviously that connects it up down here, and then at the end of that, that is basically that issue. Now, just before I get into the next part, issue 63, which I have got, is going to be the chassis, and I'm very tempted to do that tomorrow, providing all goes well with this issue today. Now, if I just come up here, I will get to the comments in just a few minutes, but let me just pop this over to one side for the minute. I'm going to pop that up there nicely. Now, there's been a lot of problems with this issue. It is like remarkable. I've had this issue for nearly 2 to 3 weeks now, and basically it got stuck here. So you see this part here. It basically, this part here threads on like that. So if we say, for example, bear in mind that I have fixed this now. So say, for example, because as you can see here, there's nothing wrong with that thread. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that thread. So basically mine was getting stuck. If we just turn that up a little bit more like that, mine was getting stuck with a gap in it like that. Now, apparently, word has it that apparently from the supporter who helped me do this, a lot of people have had the same issue where it will screw up halfway and stops. It kept getting stuck. So I thought, well, maybe it's, misthreaded. So I took it off, didn't work. So in actual fact, what the thing is, you have to use a 3-in-1 oil because it gets stuck halfway through. And I'll go into that a little bit later on. So just before we begin, I'll get to the comments first of all. See who we've got. Yes, Alex Builds. How's it going? Sorry I missed the stream earlier. I was driving home. That's no problem at all. So we'll pop that there and we'll get diving into this now. So let's remove that there. There we go. So basically what I had to then do is I had to put some 3-in-1 oil into this, like, WD-40, that sort of thing. And basically what you have to do, that then releases that jamness that got stuck there. So as you can see, you've got a recess like that. Okay, I'm going to bring that down a bit more now that we've got the magazine out of the way. And then the other side of that, you've got a lower recess. Okay, the recess that we need to use is this section here. Okay, so what they want you to do, they want you to feed this electrical cable through here. And basically you thread it on like so. So as you can see, very carefully. And then that's where I got stuck. So then I had to, contacted some of my friends and they said, look, one of them, the supporter who helped me, said that I had to use some 3-in-1 oil. So I sprayed some of that on there. And as you can see, works a treat because it goes straight up to the end, flush as anything. So as you can see, I mean, there's a tiny weeny gap, but I'm not really fussed about that. And as you can see, that is what that part there looks like. So this is going to be basically the main connector, which I assume you're going to be charging it with. I'm not entirely sure at this precise moment in time. So once we've done that, the next part what we need to do is we need to get the bottom of the connector here. Now be very careful here because both of these have a different recess. So you've got one that's got no hole and then one's got a pin. Okay, so you've got a hole and a pin in. The one we're going to use is the one without the pin, and basically we're going to feed this part here through the end of this. Now you can see that this has got a larger recess, which is basically going to marry up with this section, and you just feed that in like that, and you can't get that any flush than that. That looks really, really good. It's got a sort of swivel motion on it, so I'm assuming that it's going to, you know, do some swivelness here. But yeah, it looks really, really good. It's so nice to be able to move this forward again, thanks to the lovely supporter that helped me fix this. And I was thinking, do you know what, I'm going to have to return this because I really thought I misthreaded it, and it turns out it needed a little bit of oil. But yeah, okay, so then what we're going to do, we're going to get this one, and as you can see, this one's got a pin, and what's going to happen is we're going to move this, we're going to feed it up through here, so the wire needs to go through this hole here, and we're going to sandwich it like that. And as you can see, you heard that clip, it sort of clips into place like that. Okay, again, I think it's got a swivel motion because this is now swiveling, which I quite like the look of that. That looks really, really good. So once we've done that, this is where we have to bring up the Spitfire. Now, before we get to that, I just want to say that we are still experiencing some problems with this at the moment. As you can see, my Spitfire is a little bit here, there, and everywhere. Now, I've tried to film this as best I can, but obviously, number one, I'm working on very limited room space. Number two, we've got this bar in the way. And number three, my tripod that I'm working on is currently broke and is sellotaped to the desk. So my theory was to take this frame out here, but and then show it from there. But the problem is, then you'll get an aerial view down. But the problem is, it has to connect onto this peg here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this as best as I can. Basically, what we need to do, if we just lift this up slightly, we need to put this block. This is going to be extremely difficult while I try and hold it and, you know, do it all at the same time. But basically, just to give you a rough idea, this needs to go. Let's have a look here. So it's got a way. It's got a special way of doing this. It would help if I had it lined up. There we go. And it sort of slots. So you can't see that. It's sort of, you can see that there's two holes underneath there, and it sort of slots in like that. Okay, so that's how it's going to go. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put that down where, because I've just showed you, I know this is in the way, but I'll try and fix that for next time. But what I need to do now is we need to get a PM screw, because there's two screw holes either side of that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the screw, and we're going to, it's so nice to be doing a build live again. I'm going to shunt this forward a bit. What I'm going to do, actually, I think I'll keep that shut. We need to, I know this is really awkward because like the bar's in the way, but you can just about see the screw hole here. And basically we need to screw that down like so. So just a little bit more. There we go. So basically you can see, if I lift this up again now, you can see that we've put a little screw just the either side of that housing. We now need to duplicate that on the other side adjacent to this part here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to feed it back down again very carefully. I don't use the cardboard stand. I don't really see the point in it. I like to, I know a couple of other channels don't use it either. Now this can be quite difficult because we've got to get access down here. So I think the easiest option for this is to turn it maybe, because we've got to get through here. Sorry, you can't see that, can you? Let me just, this is really awkward. We've got to somehow get the screw down this hole here, but this thing is in the way. it's this that's annoying because you can't see down. Partly my fault because I've not got the camera in the right position. But I think the easiest option is to go through this hole here. There's a hole just here. And I think if we shunt this forward a bit and then screw that down, we can try and get that. Just trying to see because this lump is in the way now. So let me see my box of tricks if I've got any. Let's have a look here. So yeah, that might work. We'll have a look at that. I know there's a couple of comments. I'll get to that in just a few minutes. I just want to try and get this screw in. I think that's going to be an easier option. Yeah, that's got much more. Yeah, there we go. So, and then we just screw that down. Yeah, that's perfect. As much as it will go. I'm just going to make sure that's nice and tight on the rear of that one. So screw that one down. Just double check on this one here. Yeah. And as I suspected, just going to put this down now. Put that into there. Put the box of tricks down there. As I suspected, this has got like a. It's very awkward. I will get this better for next time, but I'm just trying to work with what I've got here at the moment. But as you can see, it's got that swivel movement. So I'm assuming that's got a lot of play in that. I really like that. And you can turn it round as well. That's really cool. Oh, wow. So, yeah. And then if I just reverse that up a bit, you can see here, as best I can, you can see here that that is going to be some sort of, I'm assuming it's the main charging point, because we'll have another framing of this section here, as best as I can. I'm going to move this up. It's annoying me now. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? So we're going to have another framing. I should have done that from the start. We're going to have another fuselage that's going to go over here. And I have got that piece. It's got a hole in it, which will sit lovely over the top here. And as you can see, I said again, it's got some lovely play in it. I really like that. So yeah, a quick issue. Lovely jubbly done. Let's pop that there for the minute. Let's get to some comments here. Oh, I've got quite a lot of comments there. So just, sorry I missed the, hang on a minute, come on. Yes. Sorry I missed the stream earlier. I was driving home. That reminds me of that, you know that Christmas song that goes, I'm driving home for Christmas. Anyway, I heard that Starsky and Hutch is going to have a trial here in the UK with Harsh Shed. And also the Dodge Charger may be released in the news agents. Really? Oh, wow. If that's the case, I've got a spare gap in my file. So, because obviously with the news agents, you do have space for two issues. So I've always sort of kept that one because I do the Spitfire one, but I always keep the other one spare in case like a bill comes up that I want to do. I used to have Peter Rabbit in there, not Peter Rabbit, Cross Stitch in there, but I no longer do that collection. But yeah, wow. Okay, I'll keep an eye out. Because I was going to put the X-Wing in there as well, but if one comes out that I really want, I was keeping it free for the Hogwarts Express, but that's not come out yet. So I don't know what's happening with that. And Sunny Stormy writes, shared you out on Facebook, Twitter, and my community tab. Thank you so much, Sunny Stormy. You are a lovely person for doing that. I appreciate you. Right, so let's go back down here. So let's have a little chat while we've got 15 minutes. So what this now means is, if I just get all this, just put that over there. That one can go over there. So many bloody manuals. So let's have a look at this. Root master, we don't want that. There we go. Right, so I'll just put all this back now. What's under there? Is that in it? Yep. Right, so what this means is I can now, you know, build this up. I've got all the issues for the rear of the plane and the tail. So what this means is, you know, we've got a couple more framing work to go along here. Bits and pieces like that. That's what's coming up in issue 53, something like that. I suspect that's going to be issue 54 because that's the other side of this panel here. You know, we've got the back wheel there. We've got the back of the tail. I have been informed by someone on my Facebook page that this is extremely delicate. So basically there's a pin, there's a barrel here. You see that gold part there? That is something that feeds through the back of that. I don't know if you can see that, but it feeds somewhere through there, which will make the towel like that. And then we'll put the skin on that. So I've got, it really is such a pleasure to, you know, if it weren't for that support, I mean, my plane would have been stuck for ages. Because when you've got a build that is, when you've got a part that's stuck, it really does hold you up. So I'm really happy that that's gone in there like that. Sunny Stormy writes, hi Alex Builds. So I know a lot of you think, oh, you know, you're still not finished on this yet, but I like to take my time. And as you can see, what my plan of action is, I want to get the back done. While we've got the issues for the back, I really want to build this along, okay? And then when I've got spare opportunity, I will bring it back to the front. Because as you can see, we've got a lot of work to do here. I've got to put the other bracket, this other pipe thing, you know, this thing that's this silver cog thing. I've got to put the other motor in there. I've already got that. I've got to put the other wire going along there. Already got that. Got to put the other frame on there. Got to put that in. We've got a housing section here that needs to go in. I've got to put the other side of the skin on, which needs to go in. Got to do all the cockpit. The cockpit base is all in the process of being replaced. A lot of problems with the engine. So until I sort that out, this is what it's looking like at the moment. But the thing is, you know, persevere and you will be able to fix the issue. So, yeah, little short stream there, but I think that looks brilliant. You know, the way it's got like 2 screws going through there to hold it in. And then, like, as I said, on the bottom as well. Part of the reason is because someone told me that this is supposed to be loose or stiff or something, whereas this one here is not supposed to be like that or something like that. But yeah, I think what we need to do now, you know, is just focus on the back for a while. You know, I need to sit down and figure out what issues, you know, backtrack to the beginning again. But, you know, I work with a couple of companies, I work with a couple of contacts that are able to get me any parts. So I think that's going to be beautiful. Really, really good. So a lot of work to do on this plane. But other than that, I think we've had a good little easy session there. So, yabba dabba do, right? But yeah, as you can see, issue 63, if I put this down now, but it's, as I said, it is such a joy to get this part finally in. I mean, it just holds me up, and this build is very intermittent for me because I've got problems with it. But you know, it will come eventually. So I mean, it took 7 weeks to get the replacement issue 18. So let's put that away for the minute, and we'll pop that just onto there. So issue 63 looks to be the left and right side fuselage frames together with fixing screws. So I think, yeah, what's going to happen with that is where we've put that panel that goes up like this, it'll go over the top like that. Once that's fitted, I assume we will start to fit these frames here, just either side of here, because there's only going to be, what, another 2 of these once these are in place there. And once they're there, that will be where the tail goes. So we are edging the finish line. So, yeah, we are getting there slowly but surely. But if anyone's out there that can help me with, you know, this part here, the cockpit base, I am desperately needing that engine. The whole of the engine, I think it's issue, can't be issue 10, but I really need, you know, the whole of the cockpit area, the whole of the engine, the whole of the propellers, not so much the propellers, but where the engine sits into. I need all that engine. So if someone is watching and you need it, you know, you've got it, get in touch with me. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm more than happy to cover the postage. Hope you're all doing well. Yes, I'm doing very well, Sunny Stormy. I'm glad you've come on here because I want to show you my mug. What do you think of this? Look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous, and you've actually got like this elephant handle on it. How cool is that? It's so cute. It's really gorgeous. I can't remember where I got it from, but yes, that will go back into storage. I mean, things like this as well. I've got all of this to do. So it's not a case of, you know, I haven't got the time to do it. It's more a case of what can I do when I've got half of that cockpit base held up. But this is, I'm so thankful because, you know, I can still continue it, but doing the rear at the moment of the tower. So that's pretty damn good, I say. But yeah, other than that, that's it. So tomorrow I will be doing Willie's Jeep, and then I may do another issue of this, because now that we've got this, you know, this back section on, I can, that connector, I can now start to get it moving along the back now. So I may do a double tomorrow, I'm not sure yet. But other than that, that is it. I have finished that issue. It's gone very quick, 20 minutes on the clock. But other than that, I'll see you tomorrow. So thank you very much to Alex Builds and Sunny Stormy. Do check everyone's channels out who comes in the show, because, you know, it's pretty good. And Sunny Stormy does a lot of cat videos. Very cute. Your orange cat is adorable. I want your cat, Sunny. She's really gorgeous cat. I think out of Sunny and Stormy, my favourite has to be the orange one. She's so cute. Anyway, have a lovely evening. I'll be back tomorrow with the Willie's Jeep build live and more of this lovely, gorgeous plane. Take care. Have a lovely evening ahead. Bye-bye.